Hey everyone, welcome to the Overgrown Podcast, episode 8. And today we're going to be talking about manga guilty pleasures. My name is Inks.
My name is Innes Reads Mangoes,
It's your boy, One Great Manga War. How y'all doing today?
and today we have a guest, which is MyNameIsDoofy, if you'd like to say hello.
Hello, my name is indeed Doofy, and it is an honor to be on the podcast, boys. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, um, do you? Oh, just quickly before that, I just want to say, we mentioned it last week. We started a Discord server, so we'll leave a link to that in the description. If you want, you can come join. We're going to be doing some stuff to do with the podcast on that, like some segments of the podcast or an episode around the Discord server, and you can also just chat there if you want.
Q&As, stuff like
Anyway,
that.
so
And the Discord server's wild right
mhm.
now. We need to wrangle up those sheep. Anyway, Doofy, you want to
Yeah,
start off
it's
with your guilty pleasures?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we kind of have a kind of question to address first. Like what even do we mean by guilty pleasure? Because there's really like a trillion one ways to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the easiest way to break it up would be something you enjoy that is, might I say, not just disliked by others, but perhaps even like
controversial.
morally reprehensible, like something that maybe like some real wonky stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Interesting way
like
to describe it.
I mean, by some metric, that would be a guilty pleasure, and
Mm.
I think I might have one.
I may
I
got
don't know
two
how
now.
proud I am to say that, but I think for me the biggest guilty pleasure is Elfen Lied. But it's an
Oh,
interesting
goodness.
choice because, on the one hand, it's not so much a series that a lot of people hate,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that it's something I'm not proud to boast or my love about,
Mm-hmm.
because on a very surface level, it expresses a lot of things I think that make people uncomfortable. It is incredibly violent.
Mm-hmm.
There is quite a lot of nudity,
Mm-hmm.
and while I don't think the nudity is inherently sexual, and I don't think that it's sexualizing, the
Mm-hmm.
case is there are naked ladies of a certain variety present in the manga, and that is you know, in my opinion, pretty morally reprehensible. No
Yeah.
no bueno.
Right.
But even if we were to take the, I suppose, the more standard definition of like guilty pleasure, and we think about just things that are widely held to be bad, that you still enjoy. For me, I think Elfen still fits that because
Mhm.
as much as I love it, there's so many damn problems with it. I think for one, there's the obvious. It can seem super duper edgy because of all the violence and the nudity, but on top of that, it is just a mess of a manga. If you ever look at any of the panels, the way that the mangaka has drawn a lot of the characters is super like unproportionate. It's very inconsistent.
Really?
Some of the faces look a little wonky at times. Yeah. Um, if you've seen the anime, it does make some attempt to fix that, but
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, I don't know how successful it is. But yeah, the manga, its art, not amazing. The protagonist is also just, oh man, it has zero presence in the story, like just in terms of impact. It's just so poorly written. He really just feels like he's walking around quite mindlessly.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite a spectacle. His whole romantic subplot with one of the main girls, Lucy, is it's just pitiful. There's not a whole lot of effort, it seems, gone into developing that little romantic bit. So,
Mm-hmm.
but despite all that, I still love it because I really like the vision that the mangaka had here. I really like what she was trying to do in building this world. I like the little
Mhm.
detail she put into it about trying to build up these diclonius, these kind of uh, beasts with not beasts, but they're humanoids with kind of horns and what have you, and they have this immense strength, these
Mm-hmm.
invisible hands known as vectors, and they're kind of portrayed as quite violent beings, but I think the manga raises some pretty interesting questions about their actual nature. Are they really, all that violent stuff, or is it just the way that humans are treating them? I don't know. You can draw some pretty interesting questions like that, and I think taken in that light, some pretty cool moral stuff going on in there. And I think again the Diclonius are cool, and that's why I like it. But again, it's a guilty pleasure because it's like if somebody comes up to me and is like, tell me about some of your favorite manga. This is amongst them, but it's probably the very last one I will say before
Yeah.
anything else because it's if you even show them the first cover of the manga, it's pretty tame, but I don't know, I don't know, seeing like a little girl with the pink hair on the front cover and it says explicit content like on the sticker right next to it, I'm like, this is not something I want to show to anybody.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you might end up. You probably shouldn't buy that in a shop. You might end up getting arrested.
yeah, it's I suppose questionable, but I suppose it just depends on how you look at it. And I suppose a sick person could certainly look at that with a different lens entirely, but I don't think anyone has to. And I think it's the
Yeah, I
beauty
think.
of it.
Yeah, because if you were, what would what a sick person want?
Mm-hmm.
What would you say they could look at what?
Mm-hmm.
What was it you were saying? I didn't quite understand.
Oh, sorry. I mean, like a sick person could look at that and derive a different kind of pleasure from it than what I do, just by
Oh.
emphasizing,
Oh.
the sexual nature of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's problematic. But I
Yeah.
don't think we have to look at it that way. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because same with something which I think a lot of people would think is rather innocent, like Dragon's Maid. I think that's a fairly innocent and wholesome show. But the case remains, there are some sick people in the world that look at that in a certain light and derive some pleasure that I don't think is intended and is pretty gross.
I haven't
Especially
really.
around Kana.
Oh,
Yeah, I haven't really watched.
no.
I haven't really watched
Yeah.
Dragon's Maid, but I quite like the look of it, or like the art style and the design of the characters. Like I quite like though I don't know how to explain like the colors they've used and then the look, just the whole look of it, the whole art style. I quite like.
Oh,
Haven't
it's
really
very
watched it.
fun. I would
Yeah.
highly recommend. It's such a fun and lighthearted series. That's what I appreciate about it.
Yes, I think I quite like it. Like I don't know, it's one of those art styles that just look quite good, I think.
So going from Dragon Maid back to the darkness that is Elfenlied, do you think it would be like a series that like you either love it or you hate it, or is it like, or is there like a gray area that people still can fall into?
I I think there might be a gray area because, like, I'm currently doing this series where I go through people's Annie lists, and a lot of people kind of have it like at a 6, 7, which is a pretty like moderate score. It doesn't seem that people are, at least the people I know, they're not head over heels for it, but they're also not bragging on it as I think a lot of people, I at least think would. But like Noob, for instance, we know how tame Noob is. He likes horse girls. We all know
Yes.
about Noob and his horse girls, and I think he gave it like a 6.9 or something. It's quite a moderate score if you I do say so
Nice.
myself. So I do think that there's a kind of middle ground, but at that place, I think it just becomes forgettable, and probably for the best.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure which side you're on there because you first said how you like it and you completely contradict yourself. Then you said that you like how you do like it though, and then you
Yeah,
just gone back to
exactly.
contradicting
And
yourself
actually,
again.
that's really what I like about the question is because what truly does it mean to have a like a pleasure? You know what I mean? And I think we have that kind of working definition of like we like something that a lot of people dislike or a lot of people actively hate for some reason.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, my kind of take on it is, well, just own what you like. There's no shame in any anime and manga, I think.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Well, I guess I just don't know how sick it could get.
Well-
so maybe there is some shame.
yeah. There is
But
maybe there's some, but from the ones you're talking about, from the perspective you watched it, then yeah, not really. There's not really.
I think
Yeah.
that shame when you're like buying manga, like when you get shame from like picking up a book, I think the shame comes from you rather than like the people around you. Because like you'll pick up like
Yes.
Dragon Maid, and you're like, oh god, it's got such a weird fan base online or whatever. Like, oh, what will the cashier think of me if I walk up there with a copy of a tame anime Dragon Girls on it?
Yeah.
Like, oh crap, what are they
Yeah.
gonna do? They're like, yeah, you're like the fifth person who walked in here and bought that volume today. But
Yeah. The
yeah,
cashier was probably one of them buying it yesterday
yeah,
because it's not that big a deal.
yeah. I think that's where I think most people are is like, oh, I'm too nervous to, and me too. Like, I would be too nervous to like pick up a Nagatoro volume with like some of the lesser tame volume covers. They're not like crazy, but like it would definitely raise an eyebrow.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I would say like you shouldn't be too nervous about. You shouldn't be nervous at all about buying your volumes or public or you shouldn't feel shame. That's what I'm trying to say. You
Yeah.
shouldn't feel shame for
Hmm.
enjoying what you like.
And you know what? I think that's good philosophy, especially if taken literally, because let's face it, if there are manga out there, they're simply not something that you can buy.
Yeah.
So anything you can buy is at least sellable, and I think that says something.
Hmm. Some go for a lot more than others.
Mm.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Mm.
Inks, do you want to go into yours?
Yeah. Okay, so um uh, for my guilty pleasures, it's not really manga per se. It's more of like anime.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is Ghost Stories, the dub version.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that one is like you take professional voice acting,
Mm-hmm.
and then you take um the abridged stuff. So you get like possibly the best abridged professional anime ever. And I think like for that one, the voice actors was just told they could like, just say what um whatever. So a lot of it is pretty much improv.
Mm-hmm.
So if you
Mm.
haven't watched that, just type in YouTube, just type in the ghost story stuff because it is like possibly one of like the most
Funniest.
funniest
Yeah.
things that yeah. Because if I remember correctly, the Japanese did not like it that much, so that was why once it got over here, like I said, they could like this pretty much say whatever.
Yeah.
And this was like back in the 2000s, so if it was like done right now, then there is no way that the jokes in there will have been able to get past like
Absolutely not.
yeah. So yeah, that one is like this, a good one to check out. It's not the best thing ever, but
Hmm.
it still holds up.
Yep.
And then the next one is the anime called Charge Man Ken. It is like possibly the worst anime ever. People have been complaining about the record of of Ragnarok anime, but this takes it to like a whole different level. The only thing is that Charge Man Ken to me is like probably one of the best ones out there because it's so bad that it's good. It's
Hmm.
like from 1 second we have like the main character and his sister doing piano practice, and then in like the next scene you have like his sister that's trying to kill him with a knife, and then after that you might just have the mom this slap like the sister, and then after that it could be something else. So it's not like the best anime out there. It's like probably the worst one, but like I said, it has like that it's so bad that it's
Good.
actually quite good and like this funny to watch.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I can't say my opinion on the second one you gave, but I can 100% agree that Ghost Stories is freaking hilarious. I am watching it right now with my brother, and like we got to make sure our parents aren't in the house while we're watching it. But like,
Oh,
my God, it's
yeah.
freaking hilarious.
I have a question to Inks and One Great Manga War. I know we use like the phrase "it's so bad that it's good" a lot,
Yep.
but I'm wondering what would hold you back from just saying it's good, right? Like if you're sitting there, you're watching it, you are having the best time of your life, you are
Mhm.
laughing at what they're saying. Why would we not just say it's good?
Because I think to us we know it's bad. Like we know this is dog
Yeah.
crap, but like we can't
Yeah.
help but like it
No.
because of how bad it is. It's like, yeah, I like that. Yeah.
I would feel kind
Yeah.
of I'd feel kind of bad for if the best time of your life was watching some random anime that's not even your favorite anime. Because you said you said the best time of your life. But if your best time of your life was watching some anime that's not even your favorite anime. Like
I mean,
this
oh, go ahead.
Pardon?
Oh, I was just saying, like, both are like highly rated for me, but that's more of like how much I enjoy them.
Mhm.
Like, if we're doing stuff based off like the animation, writing, and stuff like that, then
Mhm.
yeah, it will get like a maybe like a D minus to like an F. But if it's like me just watching it just because, then it gets an A.
Yeah. Like if I look at other media forms that have like absolute dog crap stuff, but like I absolutely adore. So like for example, like the Burger King Xbox games are like dog crap.
Wait, what?
The definition.
That's the thing.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Wait,
There's like three of them.
Yeah.
They're
I have to look
absolute
these up.
dog crap. There's like a Metal Gear Solid game, there's a driving game, and then there's a bumper cart game. And they're like absolute dog crap, but like in the best way possible. Like you gotta like tie your friends down to a chair and force them to play, but by golly, you'll be laughing at them because of how awful it is. And then another thing I really think is like again absolute dog crap is the Oregon Trail, the card game.
Card game.
Yes, so
Uh,
it's literally
what?
Oregon Trail. It's literally Oregon Trail, except it's a card game, and it's freaking awful. Because if you've played Oregon Trail, you know you can die at any moment, right?
Hmm.
So they just put that in the game. So like you'll be playing the game like, oh, now you found some new land that you can go on to. Now you got to grab a random card that does a random thing, and I think like 1/3 of the deck is instant death. So like,
Damn.
Some say just like real life, man.
yeah, I know.
Yes.
So you'll be playing like,
Is this not the best game of all time?
no, it's dog crap, but like it's
Mirrors
freaking
reality,
hilarious.
man.
I know, I know. Like you'll pick up a card, having a blast, and you pick it up. It says, and you like snake bite, and you drop the card, and you're sitting there for the next 2 hours watching your friends play the game as they're slowly dying. Each of them are slowly dying until everybody's dead at the about 1.5 hour, like well, it's a 2 hour mark. So about 2.5 hours, everybody's dead, and we didn't finish the game. We're just like, this is this is a game. This is an actual game that exists, and I just wasted 2.5 hours playing this.
Did you have fun for at least 2.5 of those hours?
God no.
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 Oh, okay.
You have fun. You have fun watching the other people suffer. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a second level of fun to be had
Yes.
here. Okay, I see what you mean then.
Yeah. You.
It's like when you watch AVGN play a bad game and you see he's having a bad time, but you're enjoying watching him suffer.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. I just
That's
have
a
to.
fair point.
I have to kidnap all my friends and lock them in a room first before they'll want to play with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I brought it out one time, and they'll never play it again. But yeah,
From the sounds of it, doesn't sound great.
it's not. But
I never knew that it had a card game.
yeah, it's
I
like
didn't either.
you can get it like stupidly cheap. It's like I got mine on sale at like Target from like 3 years ago for like $10, and you can find it online easily for like $8-7, like free shipping and everything. If you want it bad enough.
That's interesting.
Honestly, it's worth the $7 just to watch your friends die in a card game and watch them all just be frustrated. It's worth the $7.
I
What
will
is
buy that just to cause more pain.
Yes. All right, Innes, do you want to go into your guilty pleasure?
Um. Okay. Well, would you mind going first?
Okay. So I've got two, and these are both on two different spectrums of the guilty pleasure thing. Like Doofy said, one's like most people don't like, and then the other one's like questionable material.
Hmm.
So the first one I'm talking about is the one most people don't like, and that's Nagatoro. And it's, I mean, I don't really know what to say about Nagatoro because I already did a video on it, and it's really hard to put into words. Besides, it's just wholesome. Like it's just a really fun read watching this loser with no backbone slowly get picked on by this one girl until he finally grows into a much stronger person. And then you have Nagatoro's character development with her trying to figure out how to express her love better. And to me, that's just super sweet watching them work together and try to make each other better people. Yeah.
Yeah, I also second that. I really do enjoy Nagatoro, and a lot of the things I hear against it, I don't think are nearly as justified as
Mm-hmm.
people might think. I've heard, a few things like it encourages, you know,
Bullying,
I don't,
like,
yeah,
really?
loosely encourages bullying or stuff like that. But I mean, in my defense to that would always just be I don't whether or not we like it, it's something like anime or any kind of art form
Mm-hmm.
should be allowed to reflect anything that actually happens. And I mean,
Yeah.
relationships like Nagatoros and senpais happen in real life
Yep.
frequently at that. And I
Yeah.
think to have that representation is good. Now, I don't think representing something is to endorse it. If that's what
Right.
you come away with it, then so be it.
I
But
don't completely
uh,
agree with
we
that.
can't just
Like,
say that is the case.
Mm-hmm.
I don't completely agree with what was it you said. Like, anything that happens in the real world should be represented. I think a lot of things like that isn't. I feel like it being in a show isn't endorsing or saying you should do it. But I feel like there's always some things that shouldn't because it's just giving it more attention isn't always great. But things like that it is commonly known and but showing water counting like it's fine. And I feel like as long as it's not encouraging it, it's not a big deal. I mean, with some things it could be, but with something like that, um, if you're not encouraging it, then it's not bad. I feel like it could kind of like show people what it's like. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What would you say art or anime shouldn't represent? Or maybe just art
Um,
generally, or maybe anime,
Yeah,
whichever
I was about
you'd
to ask
rather
that
answer.
question.
well, think about it. Don't know. Just there's maybe just some things that you just shouldn't really represent at all.
Really?
Like what? Because to me, I think that one of the best things about art is the fact that we can like this pretty much represent like anything, whether it's good, bad. It depends on the artist in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Especially
yeah.
with a lot of like fine art where a lot of the emphasis is on the artist's expression.
Mm-hmm.
Art becomes a kind of therapy for people to deal with past trauma, and they end
Yep.
up depicting some pretty, traumatic stuff on a canvas. But I think they should be able to do that because, again, I think art should just be able to touch on any aspect of reality, and it becomes therapeutic for the artist. Now we can question
Oh,
whether or not they should, commercialize it or what have you, but
yeah, that's
the at
more
least
what I mean.
having the right to at least do it, I think is important. With
Yeah.
anime, it is slightly different because it's like commercialized, and
Right.
that can make things a little more difficult morally.
Mm-hmm.
But um, that's why I was hoping you'd answer the art one.
Yeah. Well, maybe I feel like I do agree with you with that because with if they're just like drawing out themselves, it's not being commercialized. With anime, they're making money out of it most of the time. I mean, unless it's done really bad, they're making money out of it,
Mm-hmm.
which I feel
Hmm.
like is not great. If they were just representing it, it wouldn't be as bad. But there's some things when you represent it and you're making money out of it, I don't think would be great.
Mm-hmm. I I feel like even if they commercialize it, like if they do it incorrectly, like they're just gonna get shunned for it, right? I mean, that's the worst that's gonna happen. It's gonna show people
Hmm.
like, hey, the way this is done is wrong, and you shouldn't do that, right? Like, I mean, I'm trying to think of an idea, one that's happened recently, but nothing's really coming to mind. But like, I mean, that's a good thing. Like, I mean, there isn't anything bad that's happening in art that's like controversial. So it's like nothing's being misrepresented. But
Mm-hmm.
I do believe we should at least have the talk on whatever it is. Like
Mhm.
like
Well,
I believe some of my favorite series talk about very interesting topics that you wouldn't hear about before. You know, like Black Lagoon dealing with people's uh, people's moral areas and how even the worst in people still have good in them, or watching in Black Lagoon Rock's slow descendants into the mafia and stuff like that. Or we go in GTO and we see how a normal human being that looks like they're not struggling or is really mad at you for no reason is in fact dealing with a lot of stuff that you would never know about because they don't open up about it, you know. And then you have some stuff in Battle Royale, like a lot of stuff in Battle Royale that you're just like, oh god. It's represented, but like, oh god. But
well, yeah, the things you told me about that, I don't. Some of that, like, should that be commercialized?
I say so.
I feel like it should be represented, but in ways where the people are making a lot of money out of it.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's like a whole genre of manga called uroguro, so erotic grotesque, and
Oh,
it's largely comprised of short stories that are, they just display erotic grotesque stuff as you might imagine. I don't need to give any more details,
I'm.
and I mean that's a whole genre. It's not the most thriving
Mhm.
niche of manga, but people make money off of it. What do you guys think of that?
I'm very happy that you said what it was, because right when you said Iroguro, I pulled up a new tab and I was about to look it up.
Oh no, please.
Yeah, I'm glad you said what it was, because like I was like, oh yeah, I'm not looking that up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, well, I feel like it is that kind of stuff where there's like, oh, um, no, it's not that that's bad. I mean, if it's
wait,
all
how would you know
if it's
about this,
all
Doofy?
legal,
How would you know about
I'm
Iroguro? Huh?
very proficient in the
Huh.
Uroguro scene. That's the guilty pleasure that is too guilty to be talked about.
Yes.
I feel like stuff is illegal for a reason and stuff is legal for a reason. So, see, things that are legal, it's not a big deal. Some of it might be weird, but it's not. But see, when it's like really bad stuff that's getting represented, I feel like and they're making money out of it, it's not, they might not be doing it for the right reasons. It might not be just to represent it.
Oh yeah,
Maybe it is at
definitely.
True.
first.
Like
Like Marvel
there are
Comics right now.
definitely anime and manga that, so far as we can tell, simply the author got off to, depicting violence or whatever, and I think that can be problematic for sure. But I mean, the author's intentions aren't always so transparent. There might be something like a Dragon's Maid, which is very innocent and wholesome on the outside, but who knows? Like, perhaps the creator of Dragon's Maid had super bad intentions making it. I don't think that's the case, of course, but
Right.
that is something to consider as well. I mean, there could be really wholesome and great series hiding in the daylight that are just masked with ill intentions.
Hmm.
Like, if we
Hmm.
always try to think like that about things, it can just stop us from doing anything about
Hmm.
anime and manga. So sometimes we just need to use the old moral compass and determine if this is something I want to get into or not. But
Right.
uh,
And then there
yeah.
are with those series that push the boundary, like Goodnight Poon Poon. Like,
Hmm.
oh my god, that royally screwed me up reading it. But like, it was a good type.
Yep.
It was like a good type of royally screw up. You're like, hey, you know,
Yeah,
and I think
absolutely.
if nobody would have made that, I would have been, severely disappointed because, like, for me that series changed my life. I read it and I'm like,
Yep.
okay, yep, time to fix myself. But
Y-
if that was never made because someone believed that depicting that type of stuff was wrong, then what was then you wouldn't have been able to help so many people out there by depicting
Yeah.
something so dark and tragic is that?
But I also, I definitely think that another aspect of this is even though we can criticize the creators for depicting some things, um, as the thing I kind of mentioned earlier, it's never obvious what they're trying to do, and I think ultimately it really will just come back to what we get out of it. I'm sure depending on how sensitive you are to certain issues, something that many people consider fine might be a little more triggering for you.
Right.
Or likewise, if you're a little more tolerant, then you'll be okay with a lot more. So, I mean, there are laws that regulate the legality of a lot of things that is depicted, and that's good. But at the end of the day, I think it has to come down to each of our moral compasses and what we think we should be supporting
Mm-hmm.
by reading.
Yeah. There are, like, for example, there's a good sizable chunk of the manga community that doesn't like GTO because of the fact that Onizuka does some very morally questionable things to teenagers. So like some people are like, oh, that's too much for me. I won't read it, and that's perfectly fine. I mean, you have to figure out your limits and boundaries and work around it.
I also feel like a lot of manga, it's more how you perceive it, because you could see a manga as really innocent, and where as another person could see it as, it's got very, I don't know, like it's dark or
Yeah.
things like that, like under what you can see, but you could perceive it as a complete normal, and so you really don't know what the author was thinking when they were making it, because they could be thinking a completely different thing from what you perceive or what you see, or your perspective on it. Their perspective could be completely different when they were writing it, and you just see it a different way because with different experiences, everybody has different experience, so you perceive things different ways. So it could, so you see it different ways from other people. So it's something you might see as really bad, somebody else could see as completely normal or innocent.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that comes out a lot when we think about like just regular art, like a nude painting, for instance. I think to a more immature younger person, that just might excite them, and then that might do the do for them, and that's their whole thing with it. But to like somebody who's more proficient with like fine art and understands the importance of different posture and the use of different colors and techniques, that's a very
The
serious
muscle
moment of like,
structure and stuff like that.
yeah, they're not even looking at it as like an object of sexuality. They're just saying, this is a good piece of art that depicts strength in some capacity. And, like it all comes down to your own individual kind of background and perspective on the thing.
Yeah, I've got a kind of example. So I'll go to do when you get these illusions, and it's like you look at it for a second and you see something, then you might look away and then you see something else. You can. It's like three pictures all in one. So I think there's one where it's like somebody closing curtains, and it's also a skull and something, and then there's like a moon or something. Anyway, so it's and from the way you look at it and your perspective and stuff. So that's can be the same with anime and manga. And you can see it the same way as the author did. You can see it a completely different way, or a different way from like your friend. So it really just depends on how you see it and how you watch it and what you're getting out of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
And your intentions while you're watching it.
That's another big thing too. How you approach a series is very important, because as I think as we've already discussed now, it's I think we've that actually pretty thoroughly, so we can kind of let that rest.
Yeah.
Unless somebody else had something to add.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No.
But at that point, was that both of your guilty pleasures one, or did you have another one?
I had one more. And this was going towards like the morally questionable type of stuff in an art form and stuff like that most people will be like, this is like a no-go. That's Battle Royale. I freaking love Battle Royale to death. I love Battle Royale. It is number 6 on my favorite manga of all time, and it is a gory, bloody, pulpy, nudity, and sex and grape and everything that your mom would never want you to read. It's just all in a book, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, I think we should maybe clarify. You just listed a lot of bad things and said it's beautiful. You should maybe clarify what you mean by that.
What do you mean? Like, It's all in there. I don't know how to explain besides
But
that.
you
So,
you listed some quite bad stuff.
no, I know. So there's so it's about a bunch of kids who are pretty much kidnapped to be forced to kill each other on an island. And they're all given a backpack with different items and stuff, and they have to kill each other, and only one can live. So, already fantastic idea because this was the first time battle royals was ever a thing. Battle royale created the whole genre. It's already got you.
I don't think they did. It sounds just like the Hunger Games. Not gonna lie.
Battle royale was before the Hunger Games.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it was like
Let me check
was
that.
like, Battle Royale
By a
book
long
was
shot,
like
yeah.
1990s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check that.
Yeah, the Hunger Games stole from them. Well, she says her idea was original and she's never gotten the idea from anything else, but I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. But and each kid takes the idea of having to kill each other in a very different way. And our main protagonist takes it as a way of we're gonna beat the system. We're gonna fight off all the darkness that there is in the world, and there's always gonna be light and blah blah blah. And
Apologies, I just checked. The Hunger Games came out like 10 years after Battle Royale was wrong, so
yeah,
the Hunger
Yeah.
Games did not copy. Battle Royale did not copy. Clearly, it was the Hunger Games that copied. Or maybe
and
neither copied, and they just came up with a similar idea.
I think it was a copy. I mean, it is ridiculously close. But the in the story, he's like a very lighthearted, cheery person, and he sees such very dark things, right? But and it like shows like, hey, this world is not like bright and cheerful. Because like one of my the earliest scenes in the book is this isn't a spoiler because I won't give anybody's name who dies, but he hears from a well that there are these girls saying, hey, we're not playing the game. I will not kill anybody. We want to help everybody get out of here, right? And he's like, I gotta help them. They're calling out my name. They're literally calling out his name. He's like, I gotta help them. And one of the guys on his team is like, do not go after her. You will die. And he's like, whatever. I'm not listening to it. And then the moment he starts walking, the main bad guy, for some reason, the murderous guy, the big bad murderous guy gets a Uzi. That's just like kills everybody in one hit. Well, multiple hits, but he lasers them, and he's like, "Oh crap, this is real." He's like, then he screams and like, "Ah!" And then they figure out his location. And it's just like, dang. And then there's another couple characters. There's, for example, there's this two couples who really love each other but don't want to kill anybody, so they end up killing themselves. There's one character who's been sexually abused and will use her sexual perverseness to try to win over people before she kills them. And because of her being sexually abused, it has one of the roughest, darkest scenes I've ever seen in a manga. And in that scene, a boy is dying. The dude is literally dying, and she grapes him. She believes that will like make him feel better because that's what she was told as a kid, and it's an awful scene watching it go down because she believes she's doing right. He's dying and he's in immense pain, and it's the darkest scene I've ever seen in a manga.
Yeah, well,
I was just telling you how bad it gets.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
then you
I
have
understand that.
then you have the gore. And you have a lot of gore.
If we,
But
yeah, what was I gonna- I that it does sound quite bad, but I'd just like to quickly clarify something. Because you said, well, I just want you to clarify so you can just so
Alright.
you know nobody gets angry. You were explaining all the bad things that happened in it,
Mhm.
like like all the gore and the grape and stuff. And then after that, you said, it's beautiful. Like just quickly clarify what you meant so nobody perceives that the wrong way.
I mean, I
And
enjoy
you
the
said-
series. I mean, that's pretty much it. I enjoy the series.
Okay.
I mean, there's dark stuff in it,
It's-
and it's awful. In
Huh.
in an emotional sense, like when I say it's beautiful, it makes me feel very emotionally. Like it gets me.
Mhm.
That's what I mean when it's beautiful. Like the mangaka is able to make me feel such emotions that I haven't really felt before or felt so severely, right? And that's what I mean by beautiful. Like it's like I
Yeah.
get a lot of wild emotions reading this, and not all of it's good. You know?
I thought that I just
Yeah.
wanted to clarify that just in case
Yeah.
no anybody else like didn't, because it kind of could have been perceived that way in a different way. But I get what you meant.
Yeah.
It could also
So
just be it could also just be beautiful to see, I mean, the world is a pretty ugly place, but sometimes there's beauty in being able to honestly depict all of it and then
Yeah.
still try and find some kind of hope despite, all the ugliness.
Yeah.
And I mean, I
yeah,
haven't read Battle Royale, but I reckon some of the characters maintain a optimistic standpoint. I think
Yep.
that's beautiful.
Mhm. It is.
And that's only meaningful because of how ugly the world is.
Mhm.
hmm
But yeah, but Doofy's
Yeah.
still
Right.
waiting. Doofy's still waiting on the 4th and 5th Ultimate Edition volume.
I know. I'm daydreaming with those though, so I'm probably just gonna have to read what I have and then go to the old online store, aka pirating websites.
Yeah. We would
Yeah.
never endorse such websites like MangaDex or Mangalo on this
I'm pretty sure
No.
podcast.
in one of our
I
I'm
hate
pretty sure
Manga
one of our
Park.
episodes in one of our episodes we did say if you read scans that's fine, something like that. I think we did say that one
No, I know.
episode.
It's a running joke at this point, though.
Mm. Just like how One Great MangaWar kicks weasels.
Yep. And how
It's not a joke. That's not a joke though. That's
no,
serious.
that's serious.
That's serious.
That's 100% true. I kick
Bro
weasels.
hates weasels.
Yep.
Weasel hater.
Yeah.
Hashtag cancel One Great Manga War.
Hashtag yeah.
So, yeah, that's all I really have to say on that. It's just a very dark and gory series with a lot of awful stuff in it. But I absolutely
Mhm.
adore because of the characters and their ability to find hope in the darkness and how realistic it depicts what people would do in these situations. Whether
Mhm.
it's through repressed memories or the way they were built up in the world or how their parents treated them and stuff like that. It's depicted in a more realistic sense rather than, like, as much as I love One Piece, or not One Piece, One Piece is pretty solid in that, but like most, shonen, it's just like, oh, I'm a normal human being. Well, air quote, a normal human being with no problems, right? Um, it's just nice to have a series that tackles such dark topics that's really realistic with
Yeah,
stuff
so
that
like
people
the
dealt with in the past and
so
shows them.
it shows more like the real world than the watered down world. So it's like more they can make more like it can be more commercialized and make well really I don't do you know what I mean? So it can be watched by younger audiences. It shows
Yeah.
the real world and it's more unlike all the other animation places that are trying to make it for younger audiences or want to make more money out of it because it would be harder because that's probably not for young audiences that well, I
Absolutely
would very
not.
much hope so. It's
It
not.
is not.
I would hope it's not.
Even though the main characters are kids, it is not a series for little kids.
So, whereas if you make it something, if you leave out those factors, because you could probably, if you took out all that stuff, you could use the same basis, same kind of storyline, except make it for much younger audiences.
Absolutely.
Could you not?
I believe Batum
So,
is Batum a battle royale? I don't know. I know I know there has been a battle royale manga that's been pretty much a much watered down version of battle royale, where there's not as much violence and stuff like that. But yeah.
yeah. Where you're coming from anyway. So, should I get into my pet peeves? Not pet peeves. Sorry, I was just reading off the last one of my pages of paper. So guilty pleasures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've been trying to think of something. I really can't think of any. So, guilty pleasure probably something like. Does it have to be a series?
What do you mean by that?
like does it have to be a series you find interesting or you like that most people don't? Something like that.
I just think
Or is it
it's just got to be something that's not liked by most people or has a lot of questionable content in it.
okay? Well,
Innes is about to say Boku no Pico.
Yes.
no,
Or fairy tale.
Yep.
no, fairy tale.
Hey, leave Fairy Tale alone.
I've got an
It's like kicking
unpopular.
a dead puppy. It's just like,
Oh yeah.
Let
I
him
know some.
rest.
you know,
I know somebody who wears a fairy tale jumper. It's not the same person, but I know they wear a fairy tale jumper, and they know I don't like fairy tale.
Introduce me to them. I will be their friend.
wait, you like Fairy Tale?
I enjoyed it.
Okay,
But
let's
you
just
don't
kick
like
them off
Rave
the call.
Master?
Let's
You don't like
let's
Rave
just
Master?
kick them off the call.
I
We
do
don't
not
want
like Grave Master.
we don't want
What?
any more doofy.
This is
I haven't
crazy.
seen it.
Okay, I
This
think
is
we're gonna have
facts,
to kick you
bro.
out. I think we're gonna have to
Yo,
kick you
we're
out
gonna
the
have to
call,
kick him.
doofy.
We have to kick him.
Yeah,
He isn't allowed back on.
no
They hate
fairy
to see a
tale.
young man spitting truth on the podcast. They wanted to impress me.
No,
No fairy tale.
no Fairy Tale. This isn't your mama's Fairy Tale. Or, I don't know where I was going with that joke, but.
I don't know either, but I love it. Okay. Go off.
Yeah, go off!
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. We're just
Yeah,
gonna.
to all the fairy tale lovers, click off right now. Just like the video and go. That's a joke, sorry. Fairy
That's
tale.
Doofy.
That's it,
Doofy
I'm
right
going to
now.
dislike
Yep,
the video.
Doofy's right now. Doofy right now is gonna be like, dislike. Yeah,
Guys, if you see one dislike, it's gonna be doofy.
it's gonna be
But we
Doofy.
see 52 dislikes. I'm joking. Don't actually, yeah, but fairy tale people, we don't actually want you to leave. Fairy tale is I'm not gonna lie, it's a bad series.
No, leave
I was gonna
Fairy
say
Tale
it's a good
viewers.
series though.
Hey, just wait for my video essay about why Fairy Tale's better than Berserk.
I've been
Wha-
waiting on that. You've been hyping it up for so long. Like, oh
Wait
my
for my
god.
video.
Good one.
I'm gonna make a video. It's gonna be Fairy Tale, the worst financial decision I ever made. Buying that Fairy Tale box set.
Yo, we should all do a rebuttal to his video on the Fairy Tale's better than Berserk.
we should create a group
I don't
channel. We all just have to
Tale.
post one video about Fairy Tale, and then it's just and never post on it again. That's a joke, but
That's the new way to get on the podcast. You got to make a video about Fairy Tale first.
Yep. We only
Yeah.
allow Fairy Tale people on here so we can harass you.
we should make a whole episode talking about Fairy Tale. We should
honestly should.
we should get a few people that really like Fairy Tale, and then we could have us who don't like Fairy Tale.
Ooh, that would be a fantastic video idea. Like, it would be like, what's the, who are those like big brain guys? I'm trying to remember, like from the Romans or the Greeks or something.
What are you talking about? Philosopher? I don't know.
Yeah, the philosopher dudes.
They love Fairy Tale, so I've heard.
Yeah. It'd be like a council. We're just all very professionally talking about why Fairy Tale is good or bad.
Why it should not be legal, Fairy Tale.
Should not be legal.
Why we should have a one great no, I don't know if you should do this in America, but like bonfire, we should have a at you don't have that day actually. We have something called like I don't know what it's called. What's the name of it? Something like
I mean, we just sit around the campfire and tell
where-
stories. I think that's pretty universal.
there's no
though.
there's like a day there's a day of the year where there's like there like you go to your wherever your local place is like a bonfire, fireworks day or something. Represent something happened. Just a day with fairy, except this year it'll just be Fairy Tale. Every Fairy
Yes.
Tale volume in the world.
It's just
And
all
do you have
Fairy Tale
any-
volumes.
Do you have any comments on what we've said about Fairy Tale?
It'll be specifically
Haven't done anything
Goofy's
yet.
volumes.
You just said you didn't like it. I never heard nothing about it, about why it's bad. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, that's easy for me.
It
I
is.
don't like the fan
It's
service.
bad in every way. I hate the art style. I hate the characters. I hate the story.
But most
Does that mean
importantly,
He left.
most
Does
importantly,
that
I
mean
hate
Fairy
you.
Tale is now my guilty pleasure?
I
No,
guess
but there's
so.
no guilt in there's no guilt in me liking Fairy Tale.
Mm,
Oh,
Very
there is,
open,
trust me.
honest about it.
yeah.
There should be guilt. That's a joke.
Should
Yeah.
be guilt. I shame you in public for liking Fairy
Shame.
Tale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna be like hanging out
We're
in
gonna
like,
be
the
throwing
Barnes and
tomatoes.
Nobles section. Like we'll be hanging out in the manga section, Barnes and Nobles, and like anybody that picks up a Fairy Tale volume, we spit on them.
No, we just put Doofy one of those wooden things with your hands and head, and everyone in a manga section, everyone starts throwing tomatoes at his face. Have you not seen those in movies?
Yep.
It's like your hands and
Yeah.
head goes in. No, all the food.
All right, we're getting way off
Oh.
track. We're just dunking on Doofy at this point.
Oh yeah.
We're
Okay,
dunking on him because we're
Hey,
right.
I
So I mean,
haven't seen a single dunk yet. That's all I'm saying.
Oh!
There's a lot of I don't like this. I don't like that.
Bro. I don't like the fan service in it. I mean, that's all I can really say. 'Cause that's why I don't like it.
I feel like the art style looks like it's out of a children's book. And I know manga,
I mean, it's
some
pretty much
manga is
One
for
Piece.
children.
It's like One Piece.
No,
I
no,
mean,
no.
it is a children's book. It's
Yeah.
a battle shonen. It's for children.
Well,
Little babies, like Doofy.
no, but yeah.
Yeah. So guilty pleasures, boys. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Honestly, we need to get okay. We're gonna be doing a fairy tale video right now, right here. If you're watching the video and you are like fairy tale, we want you in the podcast. We're gonna do a podcast episode exclusively on fairy tale, and we want all of y'all in here. We want every single fairy tale fan
debate.
in here. Join the
Need
Discord
to
server.
assemble the fairy tale defense squad.
Yes.
Oh, damn, I
Doofy's
might have
defenseless,
to
guys.
try to watch it.
Okay,
All five
people,
of us. All
if you're
five
in
of
the
us fairy tale fans.
if you're in the comment and see if you're watching this and you like fairy tale, or maybe even if you dislike, I don't know, just tell us in the comments, and if you want to be on an episode, we will certainly let you on.
Join the Discord server. Join the Discord server so we can get your requests in, and we can then dunk you with like 5 other people.
Yeah, Doofy, will you come back for that exclusive episode?
I just might.
Yep.
I have a
Doofy
point. I
might
have
make
a
an
point.
appearance.
I have a point to prove now. So
Maybe kind of has to now.
Yeah, he has to defend fairy tale.
I've dug myself this hole.
You're now gonna be known as a fairy tale lover.
Oh, I've been called worse things, so that's one of the better things you could call me.
Well, I was like that. I don't know if you can be called anything worse than a fairy tale lover.
Dang. All right. Enough Duncan. We got to get back to the conversation at hand.
All I'm saying, I still haven't seen
Oh,
a dunk yet.
hey!
That's
Whoa!
all I'm saying, boys.
Whoa! We were moving past that. We were already.
No,
we
I-
already
Watch
done.
me say, bro. It
I
takes.
don't think we
Bro,
should.
bro,
Hey,
no,
I
I don't
have-
think we
hey,
should. I
no,
think we
I
should
have not
keep on
seen a
going.
single dunk yet,
Bro,
boys.
no. I said.
Hashtag
No.
no
I s-
dunks.
Whoa! I said I didn't like the fan service in it. I think that's a perfectly respectable answer to that
Well,
question.
Hey, bro.
I like the characters.
Sounds like
the
a
characters
sounds
are
like
just
a you problem.
A you problem,
The
bro?
No, you sound like a you problem.
Good one.
All right.
If only I didn't say that one 5 seconds earlier.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay, for real. Now that I'm done dunking on you guys, we can move on
Whoa,
to the next. guilty-
No! This is bullcrap.
No, we're good, boys. We're good.
No, we're not good.
Do you know
We're
what?
not good.
See the characters in Fairy Tail, they feel like every other character of any battle shonen. They're just rubbish. I can't be bothered with them.
You gotta give
The
be
whole
more
series.
specific.
Like who?
Yeah,
Who's
be
like
more
who?
specific.
I don't
Why am I
remember
helping
because
Du-
of
why
all
am
the
I helping
female
Doofy?
figures.
What am I doing?
That's
What am I
That's what
doing?
I thought, boys.
Why am I helping
joking.
Doofy?
Lucy, Natsu, Happy. Happy's kind of odd, but Lucy and Natsu, or however they're said, they're the exact same as every other character that's boarding out of every other battle shonen.
Give
They're
an
all the
example.
same.
What do they like?
Who they like? Yeah, come on. There we go. One great.
No,
I'm
no.
gonna win you over by the end of this.
No,
Wait a
I
second,
swear
you
not.
I thought you were supposed to be on my side, right?
No.
Okay.
I just want you to
I
explain.
just told you they're the same. I can't. What are they like? Well, they're,
Yeah.
they're just the same as all the other characters. I can't remember much about them because they're not memorable.
Come
I
on.
could tell you about some characters that are like some protagonists that are really unique, and I remember a lot about them. But these characters are just basically have got nothing really defining. No defining feature, not as in looks, as in like personality. No defining personality traits.
I mean, I'm not
Except for Natsu gets very car sick or something, travel sick. Apart from that, what is unique about them?
I mean,
He's
I'm not
defined-
the
he's
biggest fairy tale fan, but
Mm.
I'm pretty sure it's something good about it. Maybe I'll find it once
Wait,
I
Inks,
try
are you
to
are you
watch
trying to
it.
defend?
Yeah.
Are you trying to defend Fairy Tail?
Ennis, I am so sorry, but I've already turned 2
I'm
of your
with you,
podcast
Alfred.
members against you.
No, you haven't turned me against you. I just wanted to hear his opinion.
do you know what? I think this is just going to become a 2-person podcast. Now, at this rate, it's going to become a 1-person podcast.
Yeah, it's gonna be run by
our own
Doofy.
fairy tale
Doofy's the
podcast.
last
It's
person.
going to be called the
somehow...
Undergrown Manga Podcast. It's going to be the Undergrown Manga Podcast.
Yeah.
I'm going to cause enough infighting between you guys that I'm going to rise to the top and take over the Overgrown Manga Podcast.
Yeah, no, 2 podcasts.
After this, there's just there's going to be some argument about Fairy Tail.
No, but in all seriousness, though, I don't like the fan service in it because, like, for me, the fan service of Fairy Tail.
Oh, so now you're back on my side. Now you're back on my
Whoa,
side.
whoa, whoa!
Bro,
Whoa.
switch it up pretty quick.
You're trying to be
Yo,
in a bit of both.
Do you want me to
Just
help
pick
you
a
or
side.
not? Do you want me to help you or
Man.
not?
Man's kind of on the fence, don't you know?
No.
Yeah, we don't. No fence sitting.
No, okay,
No sitting.
let me tell you
The
something.
fence is barbed wire. No sitting on that fence.
Hold up. Okay, so I didn't like Fairy Tail because of the fan service. The fan service in it oftentimes did not have a purpose, and I didn't like that.
It
So-
did.
What? No.
Mhm.
No.
Wait.
To-
What did you say
To
about it? What
satisfy
did
the
you say about
viewers.
it?
No.
What
Bro,
did you say about
I
it?
mean,
purpose.
plot
Wait,
wise.
one.
I mean, plot wise.
What did you say about him? What did you say about it again?
I said the fan service in it didn't serve a plot purpose. For example,
Wait, it
in
didn't.
one of
It
the-
didn't serve a purpose. Did
Yeah,
you say it didn't serve a
plot
purpose?
purpose.
Do you know that
Okay.
sounds a little bit like Doofy.
Okay.
Doesn't sound.
Jeez.
I never even heard it, but I think it was supposed to be funny. I didn't hear it
Oh,
though, sadly.
he said you didn't have a purpose.
He said it doesn't serve a purpose. And I said it sounds a little bit like Doofy.
Yeah. But anyway, for
Good
example,
stuff, good
like
stuff, boys.
in the
Okay.
first chapter, the first couple chapters in the first volume, there's a cover art of Lucy getting attacked by like birds, and like the bird grabs her bra. Like,
Yeah.
what's the point of that?
Mhm.
And that's the same reason why I don't like
It
Fire
engages-
Force.
Engages the viewer.
Not in a
It's a
good
more
way.
vested
Not in a
Might-
good
Yeah,
way.
sure.
No!
It
It's a
might-
cheap
it might-
trick.
No!
It's a cheap
It might
trick, but
engage
that's its
you.
purpose. And
Bro.
you know what? It works because that thing ran for a very long time.
Yeah, but
and
it wasn't.
you
It
saying-
doesn't
really
serve
played a
plot
hand in that.
significance. It does not serve
Doofy, are you-
plot
But it
Did you just
serves
say
to
it
get the
worked?
viewer.
Did
No.
you just say it worked?
Yes. Okay.
You're
I will
clearly
agree.
Successful fairy tale
I will
was. Look
agree
at
with you
how
on that.
successful it was,
I will
bro.
agree with you on
Look how
that.
successful it was.
I
Look at the
will-
manga sales of Fairy
This
Tail.
is-
That shit was
This has been the most
crazy.
chaotic episode. You can't
I
hear the
will-
thing anybody's saying because we're all shouting over each other.
I know. I'll agree with you on Doofy on this one. I will agree. It was made for the horny teenager boys who like seeing some girl's bra. I will agree with that.
Yep.
It engages with them in that way.
Yep.
But for me,
Yeah, and that's
I don't know.
why it has 73 million copies in circulation.
I wish
73
I
Yeah,
wish-
million.
I wish that wasn't the reason
73
why.
They have to be doing something right for it to like be getting the sales like that.
Right, Doofy, how many do you have in your house? Because it doesn't
Oh,
do that
none.
well. It's clearly
Oh,
you
none.
just bought 70 million.
So Doofy has all of them.
I've actually never read a single volume of Fairy Tail.
I had to figure
Are
it
you
out.
joking?
Seriously?
This is bullcrap. I'm done with the podcast, guys. I'm done.
Yeah, do you know what?
Guilty
no.
pleasures.
No more. This is. Do you know what, Doofy? You've betrayed us. I need to find a way to get rid of my Fairy Tail because it's bad.
I'll give you $5 for it all.
I'll give you a penny.
Actually, how much Fairy Tail do you have? I might.
I have the first box set, but I've read more. I'm pretty sure I've read more than that. So I've got the first box set. It's still in its box in perfect condition. I've got the poster, or no, stickers it came with, not poster. It came with stickers as well, and I've not used any of them. And the volumes are in pretty much perfect condition. They're in the same condition as they came. There was a few tiny little bash on the spine, or not really bashes, like little chips, tiny little chips. You can't even notice them. So I need to find a way to get.
Is it still in print?
Dang.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Doofy was gonna offer
you might be able to
$5, but since
make
there's
it-
dinks on the volumes, it's gonna be $4.
Yeah.
It's not
absolutely.
dense. There's tiny little chips at the side. But
Oh, it's only box set one's only $122. That's not too bad.
That's Canadian too.
Yeah.
sell it
That's
to you
pretty
for
good.
100. That's a joke. That's not worth 100. It's probably not even worth 100 second hand.
Well, I'd
know how
easily
much
do
more.
100.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
But yeah, so guilty pleasures, boys.
Yeah, guilty pleasures.
Yep.
Innes has none.
Yeah.
And this is I like it though. I like how he owns everything he likes.
Yeah, good for you, man.
Yeah.
Very mature.
Except
unlike the rest
Fate.
of us.
Yeah, the only thing I don't even like fairy tale.
He's bringing up fairy tale.
He loves fairy tale.
He loves fairy tale. He's a closeted
Yeah, I just
fairy tale
secretly,
fan.
I secretly just love fairy tale. I'm just insecure about it, but no,
Yep.
I love the honesty.
Yep.
I don't actually. I hate fairy
Thank you
tale.
for that. We'll accept you no matter what. Just kidding.
Amen.
I don't actually like
Just
fairy
kidding.
tale.
We're kicking you. I'm now Innes kicker.
Yeah. Well, guess who is the who made the group chat and who has the little crown next to their name because they're in charge of the group chat? Me. So
I mean,
guess is kicking everybody out. Guess is kicking out everyone out of the group chat and changing the password to the YouTube channel right now.
All right, go for
It's
it.
no problem for us to make our own chat and channel, bro.
Yeah,
We're
let's
gonna call
go.
it the Undergrown Manga Podcast.
Yeah. No, you're gonna be the fairy tale podcast or something.
I mean, I would do that.
Oh.
Let's go. Inks will be our leader.
Yeah, all hail
Yep.
Inks.
Yep. Now I just need to watch fairy tale.
And I just spat my water.
Well, I think that's everything. Does anyone have to add anything else to this beautiful conversation we're having?
I don't think
Nope.
it could get any better.
Yeah, honestly.
Don't trust Doofy on your podcast because he'll go on about fairy tale.
Yeah.
Nobody likes fairy
Yeah.
tale.
Don't even allow him on his own podcast.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What's going on with your podcast, Doofy? When do you post?
There are 3 people that know what's going on with our podcast, and 3 of us know it's frickin' Tayo's fault. Bro's busy. Tayo, if you hear this, stop being busy and record the podcast. Me and Noob miss you.
Aw.
I don't think anybody with more than 5 subscribers watches this. So.
Yo, hold up. Is Tayo a fairy tale fan?
I don't think he's seen it, but I would reckon probably not. If he would watch it, probably would hate it.
Good.
Noob would absolutely despise it. He would pull his hair out watching it.
Yeah, he isn't a fan of battle shonens.
Right, and he watched the first few episodes of Eden Zero, and he hated that. And it's very comparable to Fairy Tail, seeing as both are made by the same creator.
Yep. Wait,
And they
Eden
have
Zero has an
striking
anime?
visual
Ow.
similarities.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's coming out right now.
Oh dang, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
It's
I might have to check that one out.
okay. Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out.
Wait a second.
I'd say.
How long's this recording been? Has Doofy bet? Because last episode, Nuberton
Nope.
made the podcast episode
No.
record, so it was the longest
It's
podcast
hour
episode
and
we've
3
ever done.
minutes. Hour and 3 minutes.
How long was the one with Nuberton?
Hour
An hour and 15.
Yep.
I don't think you're beating Nuberton, Doofy.
Sorry.
You
Damn
could have had
noob.
you could have had the record for the longest podcast episode.
Tragedy.
I think I have the record for the most heated episode though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's
How
never
about
been
that?
shouting on an episode before.
I'll take that.
All right.
Yeah,
So,
we need to start set. We're gonna start setting records
Yep.
on the episode.
So like, we should start like a Doofy owned counter, like on this episode, just Doofy owned, and it's just every
As in-
sentence. Every sentence we say is
And
a Doofy owned.
it's none. There is not a single Doofy owned yet.
No. It's the.
I
it's
have
the
not
whole
heard any
podcast.
real
You're,
points
you're,
here
you're
against
just
anything.
you're just in denial. You don't
You're in
want to
denial.
accept how good
No.
our what?
Hold up,
No,
guys.
no,
I got
not here.
something to tell y'all.
No.
This is a
Well-
beautiful thing. You ready to hear?
Yeah.
This is why people are so nervous about sharing their guilty pleasures, because people will yell and scream at you. Isn't this beautiful?
Yeah.
Isn't this beautiful
What
how it goes
What a
around?
meta commentary.
I
yeah.
know. It's beautiful.
This is why I
That
don't
was
talk.
sweet.
This is why pleasures.
Yes.
You avoid this completely.
hmm
You know,
Except-
that's one of the. What were you saying?
Except there's nothing guilty but my love of Fairy Tail.
I think it's time to complete our character arc, guys.
I was gonna say.
I accept you
I
for
was
being a
gonna s-
fairy tale fan, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Wait a second. What?
Oh.
No.
I
Right.
salute you.
Everybody's betrayed me now. It was first. Well, Doofy was never on our side, but anyway, Doofy betrayed us. then it was Inks. Now it's one. This is just gonna be me on the podcast now.
Understandable.
Me and
Yep.
I don't even know there would be nobody else wants to be on. Our podcast is so unorganized. Like we decide what we're gonna do 5 minutes before we go. Some nights we're like some nights I'm in the last week. I got a call from OneGreatMangaWar. I was outside. I can't remember where I was. I think I was just at the shop. I was at the shops or something. He called me, and I was like, "Oh, how come you calling?" He said it's a podcast episode. I was like, "Oh, that was the time we were supposed to be recording with you?" I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Me?
Or maybe it was the week before. I don't
Somewhat.
know.
Who knows? As you can tell, we're really unorganized. But
Yeah, and then we decided what we're gonna do 5 minutes before.
honestly,
I
but
I
I
was
think
just
it
like,
leads
well,
to much
you-
more interesting podcast episodes.
Yeah.
'Cause, like we're all
'Cause-
over the place. It's beautiful.
when you plan it, it's much harder. It seems much more. Well, Doofy was like, it was like 10 minutes before it started. He was like, "What's the topic?" And I was like, let me check." And then I messaged both of you, and Ink said, "I don't know," and you didn't reply. So I just looked at the
I got
list and I was
work,
like,
man.
"Oh, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?"
Yeah, I was at work, working at the library.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I just got back 10 minutes before then.
And
Alright,
I
will-
almost feed you.
guys, if we don't end
So.
up, if we don't end this episode soon, Doofy will get the record of the longest podcast episode. We can't allow this to happen.
What's wrong with that? Hey, what's
Hey.
wrong with that?
No, wait, I completed my character arc. I mean, it's perfectly fine to take as long as
You also
need.
completed your last episode on the podcast ever,
I did. Yeah, I did.
and so
Understand.
did Doofy. He will not be getting invited back.
Alright, it was nice seeing y'all guys. Bye.
Bye bye.
I think he left. Yeah, he's left for good. You two might as well leave leave, and I'll just end the episode by myself.
I'm not going anywhere, man. I'm taking this over when y'all are gone.
Just kick you. That's a joke, but
The overgrown Doofy cast.
no. It's gonna be like no more Doofy protest. I actually think one's gone. Oh well. Imagine we all just left Doofy to end the podcast.
I'd start going with another episode right after, man. Double feature.
And you just turn it into a whole new episode. This episode's probably been one of the most manga revolved episodes, because most episodes it's about like 20 minutes of it is manga, then the rest of it's like pizza rolls or Tesco meal deals and stuff like that.
Yep, or how Doofy's opinion is trash.
You
Yeah,
mean
which it is,
correct
which it is.
and facts.
Yep. The TikTok troll is
TikTok
on the
king.
podcast. Yep. It's freaking
I
crazy how
have
fast
yet-
he's growing. Like, my God.
you
700.
are.
Have you seen
Well-
Have you seen Tayo's growth?
Wait,
Oh,
did you
yes.
say Doofy?
2,000 in
I
like half
know.
that time.
It's
Because one of his
freaking
videos is
crazy.
like 100K. Because he's a teacher. That's not fair.
Wait, Doof, did you just say Doofy's at 700?
Yeah.
On the
Were you
top,
not?
yeah.
Were you not on like 500 yesterday or something?
Yeah.
Something like that.
I looked at you yesterday. I was like 500. That's pretty good.
Oh, you mean the TikTok or the YouTube?
YouTube.
TikTok.
Yeah, the YouTube's still 500. Don't worry,
I
I'm
was
not.
like 700.
I'm not that crazy, dude.
No.
Yeah,
It's the
my
TikTok.
TikTok did kind of well, but now I'm away. I'm not at home, so I don't have any. I've got like one volume of manga with me and reading digitally, so I can't make any TikToks. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I hit 101 followers, and today I'm there at 100. So,
Uh-oh.
going down, but
You fool. I'm at
It's a hard knock
106.
life.
Just go
Yeah.
flex
I
it.
have 0.
going down
have-
gracefully.
TikTok,
Well,
TikTok's pretty fun though. I enjoy TikTok. Making TikToks and watching everybody in Doofy's comment section be in an uproar.
And I like
This is-
making them in an uproar.
Yes,
this
I
episode's
know.
probably going to be this episode's going to be the best for clips. It's just going to be
Yeah,
shouting.
perfect.
True.
Perfect for the TikTok.
We just need to create another channel where we just post one video about Fairy Tail.
Yep.
I can't believe. Wait, Doofy, are you serious? Yeah, you've never read Fairy Tail?
No, I've only watched. I mean, I've watched like 50 episodes. I haven't read it though.
That's not too bad.
I guess you have an opinion on it.
Mind you, that wasn't like 2013, 2014. I watched it, but minor
Wait a
details.
second.
Minor details.
Minor details. Okay. So, do you think you'd
You
still
are-
enjoy it now if you read it?
Doofy was alive in
Oh.
2013. Are you sure about that? I don't think he was. I don't think that's
Yo.
possible
Yeah.
with his opinions. Yes, we asked Doofy to come on this episode, and this whole episode's just been like, what was like, I don't know the word. Making fun of Doofy's opinions.
Yep. I mean, we do this for every guy on the podcast. We do some poking. We do some trolling.
Yeah.
We do a little
podcast,
trolling.
Yes.
This episode with Doofy's been quite difficult because usually we have the weirdest chats with the person who's on the podcast for about half an hour before it starts.
Yeah.
It's really random stuff.
Yeah. We just saved it for this one because apparently this dude likes fairy tale. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But,
I like the walk back on that now.
Yeah.
Suddenly, there's nothing wrong with it.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with it at all.
Well, I'm not walking. I'm staying.
I completed my
staying where I
character
was.
arc. I completed my character arc, so.
I'm gonna force you guys to watch Fairy Tale, and we're gonna do a group review of it, and you're all gonna love it.
Let's do it. I would do that.
Just an episode of watching Fade.
I
Yeah.
hate fairy tale, but I would do it.
You would find a newfound passion for it when you were in a social environment watching it with friends, hyping
Yeah.
each other
Yeah,
up.
One Great Mangawas channel just changed to Fairy Tale Lover.
No.
One great fairy tale.
Never.
Just watch Fairy Tale.
No, it would change to Fairy Great Manga War.
Wait a second. How long's this recording been?
Ah, crap, we gotta end it if he's... How many times have we said we're gonna end this? Oh, shoot, he's got like 2 minutes before he becomes the...
Why are you
Longest
so
record.
eager to end it, though?
We can't allow
Yeah,
it!
what's your problem here?
Hey, what's going on here? I thought you were on my side, Weasel Kicker.
No! I'm a doofy kicker now.
No, the Fairy Tale Lover.
I'm a
the Fairy
heel.
Tale Lover,
Doofy
the Weasel-
Kicker!
I'm a
This
heel.
sounds like, this sounds like a Fairy Tale. The Fairy Tale Lover and the Weasel Kicker.
No, my goodness.
Well,
Uh,
actually,
I'm
I feel like I'm the heel, and so you being the heel against the heel kind of makes you a good guy, doesn't it?
Who?
My brain hurts.
One Great Manga War.
We'll talk about this when I'm not brain hurting. I don't know. Who says you're the heel though? Maybe you're the hero.
I say it.
You may be the hero, and we're just all the bad guys.
Oh, I like that. I like that little twist. Everyone was wrong except for me. That's a much
Yeah.
more plausible outcome.
Yeah. Dang.
That is certainly not true.
We really gotta do the fairy tale episode where we get
Yeah,
a bunch of manga tubers, just like
what we
in
seen
one
there?
Discord call.
Bro, you have a
That'd be
Psyche
beautiful.
Why are
K
you doing
profile
fairy
picture. You're
tale?
gonna say Fairy Tale's bad? Get out of here, dog.
Whoa! Hold it up, Buckaroo.
He left.
Look at that. Look at that.
Because he knew.
He
He knew.
Bro,
He had no ground for saying Fairy Tale was bad with the Psyche K
I can't-
profile picture.
Hold up. I like Psyche K. Psyche K is pretty dope.
Seen a couple of episodes.
Oh, good man.
Manga man.
Oh god, I think he's broken.
He's
I
broken.
thought he was gonna kick me.
You broke him. Like, dude. Alright, he's back.
Oh yeah, bro.
Is he back for good? Hey!
Hard up right now.
I just had a wee cut off. Sorry, I cut off for a second. What
No,
were
you
saying?
didn't cut off, bro. No, you didn't cut off.
That's
No,
awfully
no.
Convenient.
No, we know what happened.
What happened?
Not much, you. We just discussed why Fairy Tale is much better than Psyche K.
And then you left, like,
Ah.
immediately right after that.
Yep.
Both of them agreed with me.
Twice.
I didn't know. I
Someone
did
great.
not. I did not.
Yeah, they
That's
did. I have the
bullcrap.
I
recording.
didn't leave on
I'm
purpose.
also-
You know,
I'm
you know,
also
maybe-
recording
maybe
now.
I
No,
should
you're
do
not,
this.
bro. No, you're not.
Oh
This is
yeah,
a
I got
bullcrap.
the proof.
All right, send it. Send it after this episode. You ain't gonna find
Okay.
it. You ain't gonna find
Yep.
it.
Yep.
No,
Absolutely.
no. I said Psyche K was better than Fairy Tale.
It was worse.
No,
and then you
I
just
didn't.
changed
What'd you
it.
say?
Dennis is back
Wait,
now.
No.
Did you say that?
No, I
You
didn't.
did.
I
I
didn't.
have it on recording.
Oh, send me that recording.
I
Yeah,
did not
you got
say
it.
He's gonna edit clips together to make me sound like I said it, but I did not say it.
Mm.
That'd be such a
I don't know
different
why.
thing to do.
I don't know why I'm believing a Fairy Tale Lover.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Oh, stop turning back. I think it is. It's a joke. I don't actually like Fairy Tale. There's no problem. Has Doofy bet Newberton yet?
Has he what?
Has he
Have I
bet
bet
Newberton?
yet?
Bet? What do you mean?
Like in time?
Length.
Has he got the longest episode yet?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I thought you
I'm
said.
What time are we at?
Yeah, he
yeah,
beat him.
not,
He beat
not
him.
stalling, but
Sorry.
Oh,
Mike,
let's
we
we should have given
go.
this- We shouldn't have
Time
given this
to reveal my
Doofy.
hand.
Yo, I'm
No.
gonna
Time to
cut this
reveal my
video
hand.
up.
Guys,
I'm
it's
gonna cut
ending
this
now.
video
It's
up
ending
where
now.
you won't have it.
Just end it one. We don't want any more. No bragging for Doofy. Just end the video.
All right,
What was
Doofy.
that? As talking,
Wait,
as
I
we-
actually
Guys.
love Psyche K. I was just trying to stall.
No, don't
No.
listen to him. As we were talking about fairy tales, let's end it with
What's
they all lived
next?
happily ever
What's
after.
next? He's gonna say the freaking Chimera Antark is his favorite arc. We gotta get rid of him.
That'd be
No.
too crazy.
No,
now. That'd,
no
that'd
more.
be crossing
No
some
more
lines.
No more before we get into more heated arguments. Anyway,
Anyway,
so
Doofy, do you want to spend the next 30 minutes stalling for time?
No, we're good. I'm satisfied. I beat Noob's record.
All right, understandable. All right, let's wrap this up, boys.
and as we were talking about fairy tale, they all lived happily ever after. Fairy tales.
So, before we leave and say goodbye to everybody, Doofy's channel will be in the description down below. He's also got a
No, it won't.
podcast.
No, it won't. No, it won't.
He's also got a podcast.
No, it won't.
It is
No, he
severely
doesn't.
inferior
No, he
to
doesn't.
ours, but he
No,
does
yes,
have
yeah,
a podcast.
Agreed. I'll see if you put his
Well,
links in the description. I'll go in and edit it and just take them off.
All right.
I'll
and
No,
comment them.
I'll write my name's Doofy, then leave a link to my channel, even though it'll say
if you are a fairy tale,
Actually,
if you are a fairy tale fan or a fairy tale hater, please join the Discord server. We would love to have a video with you on it. Whether that's watching the first episode of Fairy Tale or doing a discussion topic
yeah.
on it, that'd be really cool. Either way, we'd appreciate you here. We don't really care if you are actually a fairy tale lover. We'll accept you no matter wherever you go as.
Yeah. Or we actually I do put Doofy's link in the description, but just write something like fairy tale lover, or also, or my name's Doofy.
My name is Fairy Tale Lover. Perfect. All right. Anyway, everybody want to say goodbye? Since we're all good.
Bye bye.
I don't know if I want to say goodbye today.
Oh,
Bye.
dang.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Sorry, fairy tale fans.